What's up, guys? It is Gray, aka the Gray, and we're back with more RWBY. Who's excited? I'm excited because RWBY's been good consistently. Have we been here before? I feel like we've been here before. Anyway, I know today's Monday. We're not going to do my hero today. We're going to do it tomorrow. I decided to do RWBY instead. That's just how it is. Sure, one day it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I promise. And if you like the video and you want more RWBY content, subscribe and leave a like because it helps me and makes me feel better about myself. So thanks. And I need all the positive reinforcement I can get. As we can see, this is a backstory episode. Almost entirely, except for the very, very end. Once again, spoilers for volume 8 of RWBY. Don't, oh my god, Kage hats. Brushed my ear. really sensually. Volume 8 of RWBY. If you don't want spoilers, get out. Already spoiler, we're getting a backstory for Cinder. Which is what people have been asking for 8 volumes now. You know, people have wanted it. I personally didn't really. I never really cared because, I mean, okay, you know what? Hold on. Before we get into today's video, I'm going to let you guys know right now. I don't like Cinder. I really don't. I think she's super boring. I didn't like Cinder originally, and the show has not made me a fan. I'm just going to say that. Originally, I wasn't a huge fan. Everything that's happened in the show thus far has also not done a great job of making me like her. But this was a good episode, and it was a good backstory with some interesting twists to a classic tale. If you don't know, her backstory is almost directly referenced to Cinderella. Haha, Cinderella. Oh, wow, very clever, RWBY. Very clever. But it starts off, we see Cinder, she's at this orphanage. Nope. This orphanage. Or we don't really know what this is. It's a farm. She gets picked up. Like, taken. We don't know if she's paid for. I would assume a type of orphanage, right? We'll just assume. She wasn't very popular. She's dirty. She'd pick fights. And she got picked up to work. I don't actually remember what the second image is. But it's probably not good. She gets adopted by an evil stepmother and her evil stepsisters, and obviously they are horrible to her and they treat her like crap. So let's just see what next. Yeah, they treat her so bad. They torture her essentially. Whenever she does something wrong, they have a shock collar on her, a literal shock collar, by the way, like for animals, and she gets zapped whenever she does something wrong. And the stepmom is just like the worst. The sisters, we'll get into it. We'll get into it later. But like it's really bad. And she meets, well, okay. So they're in a hotel. She works at a hotel with the stepmom. I assume runs the hotel. There's a lot of like nothing is like really gone. It's very centered on Cinder, so we don't get a lot of the details surrounding it. Like, is this a hotel? Where exactly are they? People assume Atlas for a couple reasons, which I think is a safe assumption. Probably Atlas, but not really important where it is because all that matters is why Cinder did it. So, huntsmen go, and including one huntsman that was particularly, like, potent. He was going like, yeah, I did really good, blah, blah, blah. And then someone steals his sword, and then we cut to Cinder in a back room. Obviously, it was her. She stole the sword. And give me a second. And then he's like, hey, like, let me help you. You've got potential, blah, blah, blah. They train. And then they have this dynamic of, I don't want to breeze through this, but it really is it's pretty simple. Basically, he'll come in, when he's not on missions, he'll come in, he'll stay, train Cinder a little bit, and then he'll go, and she'll be left alone with her horrible family, adoptive family, like literal torture adoptive family. He's like the only thing. He's originally Cinder wanted to be a huntsman. Yeah, a huntsman. She was, they talk about, he's like, yeah, when you're 17, you take the test, you'll pass, you have a good, like, her semblance was already manifesting a little bit. We saw a glimpse of it when, like, the sisters were doing something bad, and she, like, made a bunch of smoke because she made the water hot. So her semblance was already manifesting of some kind, and she was getting trained. And then the stepsister's like, Mom, you gotta come find this. Cinder has a weapon. They lead her in there. I assume they caught her training, and then, well, to put it bluntly, Cinder killed them all. Cinder killed them all. By the way, the huntsman's name is Rhodes. Not really important, just the fact that I did need something to call him, so I looked it up. I'm literally staring at the end credits of the episode. It is indeed Rhodes. So, also Jessica Negri. If you don't know, Jessica Negri is the voice of Cinder. She's the model. And she also, I assumed, voiced young Cinder, so Good for you, Jessica. Good work. Really good voice acting. Good job. Yeah. So basically, she kills her step family. Rhodes walks in and he's like, what happened? She's like, I can do whatever I want. He's like, you're gonna run away forever. And then he like whips out his weapons, and they fight. And bada bing, bada boom. She kills him because he like put down his weapon because he couldn't kill her, and then she stabs him. And it's so I'm gonna break down this fight a little bit because there's a lot to talk about here. First and foremost, she killed her step siblings. While I do 100% think the mom did deserve it, I typically don't think most people deserve death. I'm pretty lenient on that. Personally, it's a personal belief of mine. This one was pretty terrible. It was essentially having a slave, and then she shocked her when she wasn't being good. So, like, pretty much the worst kind of human being you can get, almost. But the sister is like the children, right? Like, children can be awful. I don't think every mean child should be put to the stake. So that already was, like, bad, but, like, Cinder, blah, blah, blah. There's some interesting discussion going on in the RWBY community right now of, like, whether Cinder was justified in these actions and whether we're supposed to feel bad for her. Because obviously we know that Cinder's done some really bad stuff today. Like, really bad stuff. Like killed lots of people, innocent people bad. So no, obviously this does not justify that. Definitely not. That's not what they were going for. I think they just wanted they wanted people to know why she is the way she is and why she's so bent on being the most powerful, because then no one can tell her what to do. Clearly, she doesn't like taking orders or being manipulated, and she was, which we'll get to later because that's some perfect manipulation going on from other characters, but not important in this segment. So was she justified in killing her step-siblings? I'm going to go ahead and give her a little bit of a pass on it because they were, like, terrible, but of course they were still bad and kind of shows the problems that were already brewing up here that she did that. Also, Rhodes, once again, the huntsman, did not help her, really. He taught her how to fight, and then he left for long periods of time. So, unfortunate for him that, like, just not quite what she needed. She needed someone to, like, help her and be there for her when she was, like, getting tortured, essentially. And he wasn't. So, anyway, killing him was definitely, like, the path. Very quickly, she was sad about it. Like, she definitely, like, got a look in her eyes. I guess I should have taken a picture of it. It's like a screen cap, sorry, but I didn't. She definitely has a look, and then she immediately is like, okay, well, you're just going to have to be another step. We don't know what happened after this. We don't know Salem and Cinder meeting. God only knows how that happened. I assume we will get it. I actually think we'll probably get it this volume, because I think this volume is going to end with Cinder defecting or something along the likes. I do think she will. Well, we'll get to the predictions a little bit, but either way, some thoughts there. So yeah, Cinder, bad. And then she wakes up. I think this is next. Actually, I don't think it is. I think I know what's next. Okay. Wait. Yeah, I know what's next. Okay. So Cinder wakes up. Emerald's there. She's like, okay, so surprisingly, Cinder was not blatantly mad at Emerald for their failure. I was confident that she was going to blame Emerald, like their mission not ending well, on Emerald. And, sorry, I was shaking the desk. Hope that didn't come across in the webcam. And I thought she was going to be mad at her. She really wasn't. She was more mad that she brought her back. She was like, why'd you brought me back? She's like, you were hurt. You need help. Like, blah, blah, blah. And then Mercury comes in. Mercury gets lines. If you don't know, I do like Mercury. I think he's a cool design. I think he's a really interesting character because if you don't know, Mercury does not have a semblance because it was taken by his dad that he killed. Really messed up stuff. So Mercury comes in. He's like, hey, we're one at the bridge, and then, like, Cinder tells him, like, something, and he's like, I don't work for you anymore. I work for Salem. Everything with you, like, didn't work out, and you didn't care about us. You thought we were trash, which is true. So, like, I'm not going to work for you. I'm going to work for Salem. And then Emerald doesn't really say anything, because, like, obviously Emerald's simping for Cinder, but, like, he's right. Mercury's right, and Cinder knows it. And she just kind of looks bad. She almost looks sad, sad in, like a defeated way. It's interesting, but they go to the bridge. Before that happens, though, we finally get some aftermath with Oscar and Hazel. And Oscar and, like, Osmonds and Oscar said, like, let me take over. Like, you've been through enough. Like, good Lord. Like, let me take the hits. And he's like, no. Like this is, if they knows it's you, it's just going to be worse. It's my pain to endure. And then Hazel's like, and he's like, I'm holding back because it's me. I can feel it. And Hazel's like, what are you doing? Just get Osmond out here and tell us how to use the freaking lamp. And then they start talking. And he's like, and then Osmond does take over. And he's like, hey, so he's like, hey, by the way, like, you know, why are you working for her? And he's like, well, one, I want revenge against you. And two, she's inevitable. You can't beat her. And she's like, she can be beaten. However, she gets all the relics. She will not be able to be beaten. And you can see like a little bit of flicker of like doubt cross Hazel's mind. Because we can assume that the only reason Hazel works for her is one, revenge against Ozpin. And two, that he just assumes that she's unbeatable. But like maybe he thought about it and he's like, clearly Hazel hasn't given this a lot of thought because he's so bent on revenge. I don't like what they do with Hazel's character because it doesn't make sense that he's like either make him completely blind on revenge or make him like a sympathetic person. You can't do both really, because now he just seems like an idiot. Because now he's like, oh, I wonder what will happen. Oh, is the world gonna end? Gee, that stinks. I don't want that. Like, duh, buddy, what'd you think? But either way, Ozpin and Oscar both agree that they're like, okay, we can actually like try and split up Salem's enforcers. So if we can do that, that's how we like. She works against us by like integrating our circles and splitting us up from the inside with like Lionheart. Let's do the same to her. So like, great, they have a plan. They all go to the meeting. They all go to the meeting room. They have a talk. Tyrion and the Hound are in the same scene. They're not the same person, assumingly. I don't know if there was a shot with Tyrion and the Hound like next to each other, but they were in like the same room. So assuming Tyrion is not the Hound, the theory can be put to rest. No one's the Hound. It's its own thing. Thank goodness. And then Salem is like, hey, Cinder, you disobeyed my orders, but like clearly I was going about it all wrong. Like you're so valuable, blah, blah, blah. She basically is doing the thing where she's like, she like beats down Cinder, and just before she does the finishing touch to make Cinder run away, she reels her back in. It's an incredible manipulation tactic. It really does make Salem feel like a smart villain because she knows exactly what to do to each of her subordinates to keep them together, which is great. It makes Salem like a much more intimidating villain that she knows exactly how to play all of her pawns. So good stuff there. And then she's like, you guys need to get, I'm going to integrate Atlas, Cinder, and the Hound. You're both going to go and try and get Watts out, and whoever succeeds. I don't remember exactly what she said, but it's something along the lines of, we'll just see who succeeds. But basically, I presume that either it's a suicide mission. I think, here's my thought process. Salem, it's hard to get this, I don't know why I get this confused all the time. Salem is like, Cinder, you're probably going to die doing this, and it's a win. And you're like, you're too weak, and I don't need you. Or you succeed, and you are useful to me. Or there's another theory that no matter what happens, she's going to be fed to the Hound, which I think would be super cool. Just personal, as I said, don't love Cinder. So if she's like, dude, she gets eaten, I don't think that's realistic at all. I think they've set up Cinder to be something. I think they have set up Cinder to be something. Real quick, this is the last thing that happened. The River of Grimm shoots up like a laser at the Atlas shield. It grows like the worms, the like centipede Grimm. It like eats one of the shield generators, and one of them goes down. The shield goes down, and Salem's whale beaches itself on Atlas, like the top of Atlas. And then like it opens its mouth. A wave of Grimm come flooding out. And more, I didn't get a screenshot of this because I didn't even see it until someone pointed out. An apathy is there. So whether or not we actually see that doesn't particularly matter. The fact of the matter is that they're like it might, I'm sorry, I don't know what I just said. It might not matter. Realistically, it's very possible that it doesn't matter at all. And like we never see the apathy. But if the apathy are there front and present, it's going to be a wash. It's going to be the apathy, if you guys don't remember, in volume 6, I believe. Or maybe early 7. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was 6, though. The apathy might be the most terrifying form a Grimm can take. The apathy is just is so potent. It's truly one of the biggest threat outside of like a person. Grimm-wise, the Grimm haven't been a threat for a long time, but the apathy were great because they were a threat. Like they almost just wiped out Team RWBY. And if the apathy are there with other horde of Grimm backing it up, that is game over almost. Oh yeah, also Winter and the Aesops were like flying around looking for Penny, and they meet up with Yang and Ren and John. That like happened very briefly, and then Harriet was being the worst. Harriet might be my favorite character. Like, I don't like Cinder that much, but like, dude, Harriet sucks. Harriet, everything Harriet says, I want to punch her in the face. But Harriet was like, you kids are blah, blah, blah. And then like the thing happened with Alice happened. We didn't see what happened. So assuming if they fight, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm just gonna lose my mind. But I think Winter's there and she's too smart for that. So hopefully they don't. Or maybe this is when the Aesops are like, we're gonna fight you kids, and then Winter's like, guys, what the French toast are you doing? And maybe this is where Winter and Marrow split up. Prediction time. Oh boy, where do I even start? So if you guys don't know, the next episode is going to be the beginning of the hiatus. And I don't know if this is confirmed, but someone said something about 7 weeks. A 7-week hiatus would be insane. That's the longest hiatus we've ever had. As I said, I'm not going to confirm or deny it, but there is going to be a hiatus no matter what. Whether it's a couple weeks or 7 weeks, I don't know. So, unfortunately, next week will be the last time we talk about RWBY for a little bit. Before it comes back. So, a cliffhanger is going to be crazy. As you know, it's going to be there. They do it every time, RWBY. They love their cliffhangers, and I assume this will be no different. I don't really know what's going to happen. I assume Nora finally needs to get better. I assume the Aesops and Team B are going to join up, and they're going to go their way to Alice to try and stop Salem's main forces. I assume Team Cinder, which I assume Emerald and Neo will be a part of. Maybe not. And like, is it just going to be them versus the Hound as far as like getting to Watts first? If Watts breaks out, you can probably bet the Crow and Robin will be shortly after. Ironwood is screwed. It's going to be insane. And that's really all I have. I don't have a lot of predictions because like there's too many players set across. I'm hoping a Ren and Nora reunion soon. But of course, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen, but because not yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. I do hope we get to see a tiny bit because they need to like do something. Like Team A has not done anything in like 3 episodes, so. And they're probably going to find Penny. That's probably what Team B is going to do, actually. They're probably going to find Penny, and the Penny's going to be like, don't worry, guys, I'll help you. And then it'll be like flash to red, like, ooh, you know what I mean? And cut. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Anyway, good episode. Cinder's cool. That's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a like. Subscribe if you want more RWBY, My Hero, Bleach content. The Bleach, I'm done with school, by the way. Today was literally the last day of school, so I should be done with it forever, hopefully, unless I decide to go back. So I am, at some point, I feel so busy. I am really going to try. I think one day I'm just going to pick out and just like hard watch Bleach. One day I'm going to try. I really am going to try, I promise. And yeah, I'm going to do it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Catch all of you next time.